Hi, I'm Brandon. I officially am back. I love When Calls the Heart.
I'm Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan, and Bran and I are no longer friends, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Hello, friends.
Man.
Family, Hardies.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
The Hardys love us.
Just before recording, we were all talking about how excited we are for Bramble Fest.
Oh, my goodness.
It's coming up. We're
Right
a month
around the
away.
corner.
A month away.
Basically a month away, Jax. You excited?
I am so excited. Right before we went live, hopped on here, these guys agreed to do an escape room with me, and I think we're going to be incredible.
I do think you miss her. I think, we'll try to go, but we can't promise. You can take everyone else.
We will do. No. We will try to go.
We'll try.
I will give you the windows.
Wait, guys, I want to be in a room with you two.
But if you include all the guests.
How many people can do an escape room?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Usually 8, max.
So I think it's best if we don't.
The 3 of us. But then you go Scotty, Alonzo, Patrick, Ryan, Jax,
Tonio,
Antonio, and then our possible special guest.
That's too many.
You're at 10 at that point.
I'll try and get a room that we can do 12.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see.
Solved.
So we might be there.
Yeah. We'll do the best that we can.
We can do 2 rooms, and I'll just go with both.
That's not possible.
No, like 2, like 1 hour and then another hour.
I've never done an escape room.
Wait, are you serious? Your brain is so good for one.
I'm not against them. I just am never been in that situation and never had any desire to make it happen.
I did student ministry for many years, so I have done escape rooms. And
about how many?
Probably a couple handfuls.
Yeah. 10.
Somewhere in between, probably somewhere in between 5 and 10.
Okay, got it.
So maybe 8.
Okay,
and you can hold a lot in this hand and then a little bit in this hand.
Yeah.
Little scoop.
Yeah.
But I don't like them mainly. I have one time I was in one and a door came down and closed me into this smaller area.
Yeah, I've heard this story.
And I was honestly like I get a little bit stressed out in closed places, but also I was like, good, I don't have to try anymore. So it was kind of like a sigh of relief and also an anxiety attack at the same time.
It sounds like I'm in and Brand's out is what it sounds like, Jax.
I'll do. Hey, listen, if everybody's doing it, there's nothing. Honestly, doing an escape room with you, Jax, sounds like the dream.
A Bramble Jam podcast network escape room sounds like a blast.
It sounds like
for
it
the
could
vlog.
be a reality show.
Yeah, well, for the vlog, of course. And we could rope in the special guests, but we don't have to.
We don't have to.
If they just want to not and have some rest time, we could still do it as a Bramble fam. Just the Bramble Jam podcast.
Yeah.
On-air talent, if you will.
On air time. Yeah.
I love it.
OATs.
Was there a just one more quick question about the escape room? Was there a malfunction that you got stuck there, or was that part of the design of the room?
That they're going to lock somebody in a solitary confinement.
No, I want to say you're not supposed to go into that area. It's supposed to be there was something in there that you had to get, and then the door closes back or whatever. But I think I'm trying to remember. I want to say I went into an area I wasn't supposed to.
That
poor
sounds
sweet soul.
right. That sounds right.
We probably did it for a bit. It was probably for a bit, and then it got out of hand. Is this going to
be like last year we told Patrick we were all going to go get colonics, and then it didn't work out? Did you know about this?
Wait, no, but that actually sounds really good, healthy.
Bran, Patrick, and myself were all going to get colonics when Patrick came.
When does
town.
Pat get in?
I could look. It's Thursday around. It's actually Thursday morning. I think Jax and Patrick both get in Thursday morning.
Is it a Thursday morning colonics experience?
I would love to.
What do they do?
Apparently they put a hose up your butt.
Yeah, and just spray it down real good.
Yeah.
Wait, have you guys not had one before?
No, I've done very little butt stuff. I've had. So hold on. Hold on. We're going to get started. Let's talk When Calls the Heart. Have you ever started saying it and then you realize, uh-oh? Because I have. I just did.
I need to tell Lee Hodo. I think Lee's on it.
When calls
on it.
Our
Will
poor
people hear
sweet
that?
summer child.
When Calls the Heart, season 11, episode
Sheesh.
10. What's the name of this episode, Dan?
Butt stuff. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to concentrate right now. That was really fun.
Jax?
I'm right. I'm right with Dan. All I can think about is you not doing butt
That's
stuff.
right.
What if I told you it's what goes around? What goes around, what goes up.
It goes around, goes around, goes
Oh,
around.
boy.
Back around.
Originally aired on June 9th, 2024.
Yeah.
And it went a little something like this. Elizabeth is writing about how Lil Jack is growing up thanks to two important men in her life, Nathan and Bill. Remember Bill and how he walked into the stables last week? That was fun. Nathan is helping Little Jack ride a pony. Apparently they take turns. They can't both be there. They butt heads. I don't know. I'm making up a little bit of a story in my mind about why they both can't be there at the same time.
No.
They have rival.
It's two alpha dogs.
They have rival
two alphas in the same pack.
rival pony riding advice.
Yeah.
Techniques, and they're like, we can't do this.
The Avery method versus the Grant method.
Right. She writes that since Allie needs Nathan right now, she's just going to focus on being there for him. And it's at this point that Dan and myself looked at each other and went, oh, here we go. Here we go with this nonsense again. I'm just going to step back.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
You called all of this episode. You did. You're like,
Did I?
Yeah, you said Allie goes to the thing and Nathan has to go get her. And so Elizabeth they can't move forward and she's just got to wait and be with it. Like last week, go look, take it to the tape. You called it.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this game. So Rosemary's really struggling with the fact that her article led to Montague getting beat up. The power of the press. What do we do with that power? She's going to take a day and figure that out. And then she's going to get right back on. Lucas is moping around and Gowan comes and is like, what's up with you, man? And he's like, my New Orleans boo thing is on her way again. She's all that we have. I guess. I know I've told you a million times
That's right.
no, but I guess,
it's
since
a
she's
yes.
all that we have,
That's
I
right.
will listen to her. Bill comes over to talk to Rosemary and is like, I want to get back to the investigating. I want to find out what happened.
Oh my God.
And she's like, what? Do we have to? Allie and Angela are walking. They're talking. Allie tells Angela that she made a request to meet with her birth dad and that she is going to go to meet him. And Angela hands her a wad of cash and then encourages her to tell Nathan about what she's going to do.
I love this.
Nathan comes to the schoolhouse to drop off some workbooks, and Elizabeth is struggling to open a window. He comes up from behind her, opens it up. They stare at each other. They're about to kiss. And then the kids walk in.
Yep.
And they act like they were caught with their pants down.
Yep.
And basically they were. Lucas's New Orleans boo thing, as I call her, Jeanette, if you will, comes in and is like, people are getting beat up when they put in a bid. Maybe I shouldn't be in this. Maybe I should pull my bid out of this. Lucas is like, don't be hasty. And she's like, I'm the only one you have left. Nathan gets a call about a request that somebody had made to meet with somebody at the prison. He knows exactly what's going on, so he runs to stop Allie from leaving. He runs to the schoolhouse, but it is too late. She's not there. So he runs to the train station and tells Elizabeth that her dad declined the visitation request. Woo! They get to the train station. They're too late. Luckily, the next train's in 2 hours. So what are you going to do for 2 hours? They're going to hold hands. Fingers interlocked, baby. Not like this, like this. We all know what that means.
Nothing.
It means everything. Lucas is sitting in his office and gets a memory flash of struggling the night that he got shot, but still no faces. Lee is meeting with Mayor Frickham, and they both agree that they might need to talk to Lucas because they're both beginning to think that this resort is not a good idea. Allie arrives at prison, and she says, "Hi, I'm Allie." They ring to let Dylan know that he has a visitor. Lee goes to tell Lucas that they no longer support the project. Lucas does not take this well. Nathan and Elizabeth arrive at the prison. They find Allie sitting on a bench. She's crying. Dylan said no. They hug and they decide to just head home in what Nathan says is the best idea he's heard all day.
All day. That's right.
Lee gives Rosemary a letter that he and Frickham put together saying that they oppose the resort, and she agrees to put it in the paper. They get home, and Nathan and Allie talk, and he's just like, "I'm so happy that I'm your dad, your biological dad. Whomps hard, but you're amazing," all that good stuff. Lucas sees the newspaper and is real mad. He storms back into his office, starts ripping it up, and in the process of ripping up the newspaper, he remembers everything. He actually remembers everything. His boo thing, Jeanette, showed up to congratulate him the night that he won. There's a guy with her in the shadows. He comes up, holds a gun to her. So Lucas starts fighting back, and that is how he got shot. Lucky for him, right when he remembers, she walks in the door. Good timing. Yeah. So now they can talk about this. She explains that dude, Shaw, found out about their past relationship. It was going to use her to try to convince Lucas to let him run some rum through the valley.
It's a rum runner situation.
But then the whole shot situation happened, and then he heard about the resort, and now he is basically the one funding the bid that she has put in. She says that if he doesn't accept her bid, she's as good as dead. Nathan and Elizabeth are talking, and they agree to get together for dinner tonight. Kids and all, one big happy family. Lily's grandma shows up to take her home, but not before Faith says, "Let's sit down, let's talk Cinnabon action." Lucas asks all of the important folks in the town to get together aside from Elizabeth. She's not in this meeting. And basically catches them up to speed that the resort project is dead. He's squashing it. They're all shocked. And then he has to meet with Bill and Nathan alone. After seeing how happy Lily is, Grandma asks Faith if Lily can stay with her permanently. Both Faith and Lily are pumped. Lucas catches the muscle, that's what I call Bill and Nathan, the muscle, up to speed. He's worried about Jeanette's safety and also his safety now that they are not going to do this resort, and they basically are like, we're going to figure out security, make sure that everybody is safe. All of the Frickhams show up to dinner and meet May. They all love the food, and Frickham says, "I love you," and they kiss. Elizabeth and Nathan, they have dinner. All the kids are there. It goes great. They talk a ton about ponies. It is so much fun. Lucas takes Jeanette to the edge of town, tells her to get lost. And that, my friends, was When Calls the Heart, Season 11, Episode 10.
When it comes around.
When it goes... We did it.
Hey, we did it. Yeah, we did.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We will break this episode down here on Deck the Hallmark. We're back. Hello, everybody. We're talking When Calls the Heart, Season 11, Episode 10.
2 more left. 10 ultimate looking good.
2 more left.
10 ultimate looking good.
Which also means we're only 2 weeks away from Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
It's
exciting.
2 weeks away from just better, right? Aside from not having Jax around, obviously.
You guys can still invite me to things.
They haven't.
That's true. We do.
They haven't announced anything yet, but I'm fairly certain we're gonna get another show in August. They've announced that there's a show coming out in 2024. The chicken
Chicken
girls.
Chicken girls, yes.
But no release. But I would imagine, like last year, they started When Calls the Heart after Christmas in July, and it ran to
That's right.
Christmas season.
Well, isn't that? Didn't we tell Ryan? Ryan was doing that one.
I think Ryan's doing the chicken girls.
Ryan's doing the chicken girls.
Yeah.
I know. I was asked by a fan if I was doing Chicken Girls, and I was like, no, they didn't ask me.
Interesting. Maybe. I mean, do we get everyone together?
Wow.
Do we all jump on the chicken?
Can we
girls?
afford it? I don't know.
Well, but Ryan was also going to
I'm
do.
sure there'll be plenty of opportunities for me to come on.
I
this year.
think
Ryan was also going to do Force Fridays, though. I don't know if
we
that's
do Force
So
Fridays.
maybe he does Force. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll
let's
figure it
wait
out.
and see
We'll
what
figure it out.
happens.
I'm around.
Yeah.
We do want to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we will at Bramble
my
Fest.
gosh.
But you're also a
In
regular co-host of what we do here. Like, let's not act like you just show up.
You guys are just gonna miss doing When Calls the Heart with me. Just admit it. It's
yes,
special
I
thing
love
we
this.
share.
Absolute break even for me.
But that's honestly,
no.
that's saying
That's-
so much
that
about
should-
how
I
much
feel
he
like
likes
that's
you.
saying a
That
lot
should
about
show you how
close
much I
we are.
really do love you because
Yeah.
this show, holy
Break
moly.
even is honestly like he doesn't even say
We
that
need
about
our
me.
courtroom
He doesn't
drama
say that about
Oh
me.
yeah, the Courtroom Drama Podcast. Oh my goodness.
be good.
It just, I mean, here for it.
We need to get Jax on a diss list too.
Oh, you've got to do a diss list episode.
Oh, I would
But
love
that
to.
means
I'd be
Jax would
honored.
have to rank things and
Yeah.
make one thing better than another, and that would be the best.
That'd be hard
That would be
for-
my.
I think I can do
I
it.
think
believe
you'd
you.
crush it.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this. We're going to start with a hot take, is where we share exactly how we felt about this episode. We do not hold back, and I'm going to start with Jax. Jax, what'd you think of episode 10, season 11?
So, oh my gosh, poor Dan just yawned.
Yeah.
He's like gearing up
I'm
for.
trying.
Okay, listen,
It's early. We're recording this earlier than normal.
We are
I haven't
recording
had
this
any
early.
food in like 18 hours. I'm doing my best here.
are you still doing the
Yeah.
intermittent fasting?
Yeah.
Bless your
Yeah, we
sweetheart.
finished eating at 5:45 last night. So I'm just like, I'm just here. You know what I mean? Like I'm here. I'm doing my best.
So, like, when
I don't
he
know how
gives
y'all
his
do
hot
it.
take, y'all, like,
I'm
read
just-
between the
I'm
lines.
ornery.
There.
Yeah,
There's a
of
lot
course.
going
Yeah.
on. There's a lot.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
an uphill
Well,
battle.
Dan can accuse the show of a lot of things, but this episode in particular, you can't say that nothing happened. Everything happened in this episode. It felt like a finale. It felt like, what are we going to do for the next two episodes?
Correct.
They packed it all in. Look, I was riveted. It was fun. It pretty much feels like everything got wrapped up. Everything with Lily was absolutely darling and moving. The Allie storyline, I thought we had Kevin McGarry and Jada really negotiating difficult scenes quite well. These are really high pressure scenes for actors to know that you have to like hit your marks there. And I thought they navigated it really well. We had some sexy times with,
Did we?
as we said before, pornographic. It's a lot, but we took it in.
Took it in.
We had some wonderful stuff with May and Mike. And then also, I feel like one of my favorite parts of the episode was when everyone finally realized Maisie was right.
Yeah.
So it was all in all a good episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode of television. It's just good to be back.
Can't say that sentence.
It's a good episode of television
I'm back,
for this
baby.
show.
I
It
told
is good.
I told you what would happen.
It is
End of the
good.
year, you'd come back around. You'd hate the show. End of the year, you'd have some false hope for no reason at all, and you'd wind yourself back up, dude. How many times, if you repeat the same mistake over and over again, like it's on you, right? It's not on the show at that point.
Yeah, it's on me.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'm back. This episode ruled. And let's just do this every week. Let's just do fun stuff every week. Lots to enjoy about this episode. The window scene, magnificent. Lucas like going full Jekyll and Hyde this episode where he's like, what's happening? Like anytime he was remembering something, it was as if he was turning in to Hyde or Jekyll. I don't remember.
Hyde's the monster.
Got it.
Yeah.
Jekyll seems like a meaner name though. That's why I always mixed it up. He's just really giving it his all when he's ripping up the paper. Wonderful. And I got to be honest, I didn't think we were going to get the reveal reveal. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought that he's going to keep doing this until maybe next week or the finale, and then we'll finally get the reveal. But we finally see what happened the day that he got shot. Is it a letdown? I think everyone would agree, yes. It is a letdown. It is a letdown.
Okay. Thank you.
But it's just I'm happy it happened. I'm happy that it happened. And you know what? I you're right. I did talk about how worst case, this Allie Dylan thing lasts longer and it makes them not kiss this season. I think that this is
best case is it's wrapped up this week.
And I think that we've wrapped it up. I think we wrapped it up.
Unfortunately, yes.
This episode. And so we've done so much. No More Resort. Lucas knows who shot him. All that's left for these next 2 episodes is kiss and wedding right away. Let's all be right. Let's all be right and get a kiss next episode and say, what are we waiting for?
We weren't right. Jax would have been
no, but we.
Let's
I
not
did.
group
But
us in with
no,
her.
No.
She would have been right.
What I'm saying is
Okay.
if there's a wedding,
Yeah.
I would still be right about the wedding. So if we get a kiss next week and they say, why
Ain't
wait?
no way. Ain't
Why
no way.
wait? Let's wedding episode 12. That'd be magnificent. Would be here for it. I know it's not going to happen. But yeah, this episode gave me hope and hope to be let down again in the next couple of weeks. Dano?
Yeah, I'm going to take some blame here. I always say nothing happens in the show, and it might be better when nothing happens. We had 3 main tent poles. We had the resort. That's gone. It's done. We had the murder mystery. Well, it just so happens it was a complete deflated balloon of a mystery. What Bill and Rosemary were doing added up to a big fat nothing burger for the mystery. What ended up happening was Lucas remembers some guy we've never heard of shot him. And the best we can hope for is that secretly his boo thing was in on it, which I think we all would probably think that that's the case, that she's not in danger. She was in on it somehow. So that's gone. So with 2 episodes left, you did nothing for 8 episodes. You had 1 or 2 setups. You did nothing for 8 episodes. And then in the 10th episode, you decide to wrap up 2 of the 3 things people care about with, I would say, unfortunate or a little bit just underwhelming conclusions. And all we have left is something that should have happened weeks ago. The fact that they've not kissed yet. We have so many other things wrong here. There's also this plot line with Allie had some really difficult stuff for me. I just, the way they handled this, I was not appreciative or respectful of. So yeah, I kind of hated it. Is it fun? And I'll get to my feels in a second, but is it fun to see Chris McNally just get to go ham on a newspaper? Yeah. Does it make sense? No, but it's fun. So did the time go by quicker? Yes, it did. Yeah. Did this make sense, or did this add any integrity to this show? No, it did not. And so here we are.
Here we are indeed. It's time for all the Go ahead. Sorry, Jax.
Can I ask a quick follow-up to Dan that maybe is covering in his wait what? Are you going to get into why you don't respect the way the Allie thing went down with
there's not a good place for it. I think I've said nothing about this whole storyline because I just roll my eyes at them trying to handle this. The idea that Nathan would not tell her, and she's 15.
Can I just really quickly, for the folks out there that maybe don't listen on a regular basis, Dam is an adoptive parent. Yes. So there's that
yes.
Going in.
Correct.
This.
I'm an adoptive father.
This is why it's so matters so much.
Yes. To you. And first of all, you never lie to your kids. You never lie to your kids ever. And second of all, you tell them as much as you possibly can. Second of all, you always do that. Nathan hasn't done that. And now that he's doing it, okay, great. But then even in this episode, he's like, I shouldn't have told her anything. Dude, she's 15 years old. You 100% should have told her. And then what happens in this episode is Allie finds out that her biological father does not want to see her. Now, here's the thing. When your kids start asking about their biological parents, which they do, my kids started when they were 4 or 5 years old, honest, yes, but also, and this is hard. It's hard for people to hear at home. You're the advocate for that biological parent. You're the advocate for someone who, for some reason or another, lost their kid. You're the person that's the adoptive father. I'm there forever. I tell my kids all the time, I'm forever father. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say, where you go. You'll always have home here. I'll always love you. It's not conditional upon you loving me. Period. End of discussion. But what you have to do is find it in your heart when you look at your kid to see their parents, empathize with them, and love them even when they treated your kids terribly, if they did. And if they didn't, love them regardless. And what happens in this episode, this guy's in prison. Why does he want to see Allie? We don't know. Is there a chance it's because he's embarrassed and ashamed? Yeah. Is there a chance that when he sees Allie, he's going to remember his wife and he's going to be depressed? Yes. Is there a chance that he can't get over his own anxiety and depression? Yeah. Is that selfish? Yeah. But is it also real? Yes. Do we honor any of that in this episode? Heck no, we don't. We get Nathan coming home and absolutely taking a crap on this guy. Just absolutely burying this guy as an awful, like a human being that doesn't deserve respect and empathy. And it drove me nuts. And I've said nothing for 4 weeks with this thing, but it was absolutely not a picture of what the idea of reconciliation and redemption in adoption is supposed to be. And they dropped the ball on it, and it drove me nuts. That's my take.
That was Dan, like, just thank you for sharing that, because that was very beautiful what you said. And yes, there was something that was sort of at me that I couldn't put a point on. And yeah, I think that I'm actually surprised they didn't do better. I'm not saying this show handles everything that well, but I think that if you're talking about reconciliation and redemption, which is something that this show prides itself on, it's something that they should have done and could have
also,
done.
To be fair to you, like, it's a tough spot for those characters. The easiest thing, we got a lot going on. We got a resort going on. We got a murder mystery going on. We got Nathan and Elizabeth going on. It's a lot easier for them to go, what if Allie's father is just a terrible human being and we don't have to see him again and we deal with it and we just move on? That is what they decide to do. And so it's not Jada and Kevin's fault. Is that her name? It's not Allie and Nathan, the actors. It's not their fault. They're doing the best they can with what they have. It's just a really unfortunate misrepresentation of the
But I also think that, like, the character of Nathan is just not a very empathetic character.
No.
Like I almost think that if he would have handled it in the ideal way, I would have been like, well, that's out of character for this guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just such I'm a Mountie. And,
yeah. He waited until 15 to tell her. But
if you're a bad guy, you're a bad guy, and you deserve to be treated like a bad guy.
That's right.
And I just think,
but he gets proven right. That's the thing that drove me nuts. Is he's like, I don't want to tell her because I don't want her heart to be broken when he doesn't want to see her in jail. And then he's proven right for not telling her. What we get at the end of this is, shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have told her. That's the takeaway. Allie says it. I just had listened to you. I wish I just listened to you. And that's tough, man. That's hard. That's trauma that she's got to unpack later on. Like, that's not done. It just isn't. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The interesting lesson could have been in that is that I should have told her everything from the beginning.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he never told her that he came to town and didn't want to see her. Can you unpack that in a kind, compassionate way?
How can you trust an adoptive father who's willing to bag on your biological father? I don't care what the biological father did. I don't care. It's not my job to pile on. It's my job to go, hey, we don't know what's going on in everyone's lives. What I do know is that I love you and I'm never going to stop loving you. We don't know. Like, it's not my job to pile on and go, well, they don't get it. Your biological dad doesn't get how great you are. That's terrible. That's bad, guys. That's really bad.
Yeah.
When you're not around, I talk trash about you to your
That's
kids.
fair. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just fun for me.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I got real serious there.
It's time for all the feels. It's where we talk about what in this episode gave us feels. Jax?
So sure, yes, we addressed the window.
To the window, great. To the wall. That was nuts. That was nuts. Like, holy smokes. I didn't see that coming.
I think, again, Aaron Greco, who's really incredible with these, I don't even know what to call them, looks, but it's like this unbridled. Well, no, that's the thing. It's not unbridled. It's so bridled. Like she's holding it all in, and you can just feel it all. And she gives this little look, and it's like, oh, it's delicious. Yeah. But what was even better, you guys, and you're probably not shocked by this, was Bill telling Rosemary that he needed her brain. I was like, can we maybe like either kill off Lee so they get together or like open up this marriage because I felt a little chemistry.
Yeah.
Did it for me, you guys. It did it for me.
This was the first episode. We've talked about how we like the characters of Lee and Rosemary and all that they can do and stuff like that. But like Lee, we also talk about how so oftentimes doesn't do the right thing. Yeah. Like just doesn't.
I have all kinds of problems with
him. Yes. Yeah, but I felt like in this episode with like he actually did a bold thing. He was actually bold. Yeah. And like when deciding to go against his friends because he didn't think that it was right for the town. And it's the first time like as mayor, he's like actually had to do anything hard. And I thought that was good to see that he's actually able to do that when push comes to shove.
I think I did enough for feels. We're good.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about it more here on Deck the Hallmark. Hi, we're back. We're talking about the wait what's of this episode. When this episode made us go, wait what? Jax, anything? You got one?
Oh, no, I actually do have two.
Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see if we have time. We'll see if we have time for two. Because it's just hard. Like with all, it's just it's hard.
Talk about Bramblefest. We can't cut that.
So Dan already, talked about this in his hot take. But I cannot believe that after all the excitement of Bill and Rosemary and we're cracking the case, they didn't have their moment. Nope. It's baffling. It is baffling.
I'd really like for them to have their moment.
Well,
they didn't have their moment. And was it disappointing because we don't really guys, I don't really know who this guy is. Was I supposed to?
The problem is, and I don't want to interrupt you, but the problem is
no.
None of us got our moments. Anytime there's a mystery that's central to a TV show, and then they just pull a character from off screen and go, it's this person, and here's his motivations. That is bad. It's bad television writing because you've invited us in to put the clues together and to figure it out and to make sense of motivation and like why here, there, why Lucas knew this person. So why, like, it's got to be somebody. And instead they just basically were like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that was really, really, and then we don't get our moment. And even more so, Bill and Rosemary, all the work they put in, they don't get their moment.
Yes. And, Dan, to your point, you're absolutely correct. As a mystery lover, if there's no possible way for the audience to solve it, it's not good. However, I could have let it slide if somehow Rosemary and Bill were able to like run into this guy and figure it out or figure out Jeanette was involved and then be like, well, why would she be involved? Whatever the case is, I would have 100% let it go.
Yeah, because it's just like, listen, if there's a Hardy out there that can tell it, like maybe Shaw's maybe we know him. I don't know him. I don't recognize this
I don't know Shaw at
all. But to be like, that is just this big reveal of Jeanette, who it wouldn't have been surprising, I don't think. No. And I think I think they could have gotten there if they had just scooted this up a little bit. I think Bill and Rosemary could have been like, maybe we should look at the other person giving a bid. Yeah. Like maybe we should just look into her. Mm-hmm. Like there's a reason why Lucas doesn't want to work with her. He thinks that she's shady doings. She's putting a bid into this thing and the other person that was putting in a bid was attacked. I think that was the next logical place for them to begin looking. And I think that they would have done that had they just moved this back a little bit. Yeah. And we didn't need it to just be a reveal. Like are we the only people that are that invested in Bill and Rosemary being investigators?
It's the best part of the show. Like it's
the best
I just wanted an actual, this was not a real mystery. It wasn't.
Mm-mm.
It's a difference between in movies, a difference between a twist and a gimmick. A twist is something that you could figure out if you were really paying attention or like you were looking too close and you missed it. A gimmick is just like, we've painted ourselves in a corner. We don't have anywhere to go. Hey, what about this guy? That alone makes this an episode that was infuriating and not exhilarating.
Yeah, and look, red herrings are okay, but not when it's only red herrings.
That's right.
And this is all red herrings. Like, it was all red
That's
herrings.
Right.
My other what was that? Like, again, and this is also the thing when you trace something back and you watch it and you're like, oh, if I rewatch that would make sense. So I did. And not the whole thing, but I watched the scenes with Jeanette after this. And Jeanette gives no indication when she runs into Lucas for the first time that she has seen him before. And she's doesn't seem nervous throughout that he's going to suddenly remember.
That's a big one.
It is and it was upsetting. And I thought also one other thing that she was going to do when he confronted her and was like, you were there. I thought she was going to break down and finally lose that transatlantic accent.
Ugh.
She
didn't. That I keep wanting her to like Kaiser Soze it from Usual Suspects. I keep wanting her to drive off and just start talking normally and be like, Shaw, we tried everything we could try. He's still not listening. That would be great.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
That is what we want.
Yes.
I want to see that. I want her to like take her hair down.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want.
Yeah. Did you get the Kaiser Soze reference?
No, but
that's right.
I love that movie.
It's one of my favorite movies. When I was a kid, when I was like in middle school and high school, I was like, this is the best movie of all time.
It's good. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
That end when you're screaming, you're just like,
oh
my.
Oh,
wow. All right. Maybe I'll watch this tonight.
Usual Suspects.
Oh, actually, Bran, I feel like I'm very much like you, and sometimes I'm not going to want to watch like the cinema that I know I should. Yeah. This is just a good movie, and you should watch it. You'll love it.
I have a few. One, Allie and Angela are talking. They're walking. And Angela is like, you got to tell your dad. Your other dad. I mean, Mountie Nathan. Like, I think she knew. Yeah. I think she knew from the first one. I think when you say, got to tell your dad, anybody with a brain would go, well, they wouldn't go, oh, Dylan already knows. No, it would be like, I got to tell my dad that I'm going to go see Dylan. Like, it was at the very least one too many correctors, but I don't think any of them were necessary qualifiers. But then she just hands Allie a wad of cash, and it's like, does she always walk around with wads of cash?
That's the big one of this whole episode is Angela has a wad of cash in her dress pocket.
Yeah.
I just like, that was
she
the
has
one.
Fun money. She has fun money.
She is doing work somewhere, and she's like, how much do you need? Just you count it. Here you go. Here's a wad of cash from, I guess this dress has pockets in 1920. Here you go. Here's my.
And it's enough for a hotel.
Yeah.
She said. It's not just enough for some chips on the train.
And they don't bother to go, I get an allowance for my parents, or, I help my mom selling pies at the bake. It's just here, hey, go buy yourself something nice. See, it is a full on like, here's a wad of cash. What happened?
Yeah. My last one is when Lucas came to town back in the day, for a while he would get together and he would do poker games. And everyone was like, man, Lucas's poker face is so good. Like, he's so good at gambling, and you never know what he's thinking. Where has that gone? Because he's in a room with Jeanette, and she's like, maybe I'll pull out my bid. And he's like, whoa, let's not be hasty. Why else would anyone respond that way unless you were the only other bid? He puts all of his cards on the table. He's just not good at this. And I understand that he's stressed, but man, he's either good at business and good at poker, or he's not.
Yes.
And this season, he's not. And I don't know if that hit to the head, like, really screwed him up. Because remember,
Did you see that bandage?
He had the bandage. So like that really could have messed him up for a while. But I just don't know who this guy is, because he's so bad at governing. He's so bad at business. He's so bad at not just showing what he's thinking with his face. It's just, I don't know who this guy is anymore. Bring back my old Lucas. Bring back Fish Lucas.
Bring back Fish Lucas.
Because I still don't know what that guy's deal is. I still don't know who Fish Lucas is.
But at least he's like confident and assured and knows what he's doing. And I've been banging this drum for a while, and it's a good transition, but they've just changed his character. They've just all out and out gone, this is who we need Lucas to be. It's not like he went off to Capital City for 4 years and became this guy. He's been in Capital City for like a day. He's been in Hope Valley this whole time, and he's yelling and screaming, and his hair's a mess, and he doesn't know how to hide anything. It's just really bad writing, and it's unfortunate, and I hate it. I only have two more. One is Rosemary's feeling bad about writing the article that made Montague get hurt. And Lee comes in hot with, if anyone's to blame here, it's Lucas. Well, you got to take some responsibility too. Like, you can't just decide that the guy making the decisions at the top, like, you didn't have to write the article. It's part of a free press. You do have to say that my actions also had consequences, and they didn't do it. The fact that they made it to where only one mayor has to agree to the resort. Remember, we had that problem way back in the day. It was like, what do you mean only one mayor has to agree? So why have two mayors if only one has to agree? Well, it came in handy this week, didn't it? That ridiculous writing now makes sense, because now it matters if Lee wants the resort or not. And I just got a big eye roll out of that. And then lastly, we've talked some about how Nathan and Elizabeth's relationship's moving too slow. Brian ranted about the kiss. I just need to put this in, just a real fine point on this. Hickam and Maysu, who really didn't start getting serious until episode 4, in 6 episodes, have kissed multiple times and have now declared their love for each other. In 6 episodes, these two characters are moving along at what we would call a normal relationship pace. It is becoming embarrassing, the lengths they will go to keep us from having these two kiss. It is now getting into a borderline kink. It is, we are now entering a different world with how long they are having these two characters not kiss.
No, I mean, honestly, like I think you've hit it there. I think it is a kink at this point. I mean, even saying ridiculous things like, well, Allie needs you now. So
that's right. The pleasure is now in the withholding. The pleasure is now in the withholding of this kiss. It is now very clearly, years in the making, it is now very clearly, what else could we do? What else could we do? Jack, it's clear.
Sturman is like an expert in edging.
That's right.
And girl,
Sturman's going to edge. That's exactly right.
You're better at remembering things than I am, Jax.
He's saying is he needs you for your brain.
I need you for your brain. When they're at the table and it's like, what's for dessert or whatever, and she says banana bread.
Oh my gosh! And she goes banana bread.
And then they look at each other.
That was one of my things, guys. What is that? Something we should know about? Is that
I think that it is. I vaguely remember something maybe from earlier in the season or last season about banana bread.
He likes banana bread.
And it was like is it an innuendo? I don't know. I'm
thinking the banana's phallic, but the way she said banana bread, it must be his favorite dessert.
Yeah, it must be.
Okay, let me, you do your hopes and valleys and I'll Google search when calls the heart banana bread.
It's the part of the show where Jax take it away.
Okay, so my hope quickly turned into my valley when we were talking about, we've been hearing all about Hickam's sisters, and I was like, that's my role for next season. I'm going to be one of Hickam's sisters.
There it is.
And then they trotted them all out in this episode, and I was not one of them.
What a valley.
What a valley. My hope turned to my valley. Although I do want to say I'm hopeful we see more of Hickam's mom, because I think she's a delight, and I do really like the way they are incorporating Maysu's culture into this.
And they all came prepared to use chopsticks, which is above and beyond any white family from any decade.
Truly, none of them asked for a fork.
No.
Well, because it's like, remember when he was like, I got the chopsticks. And it's clear like he put in the work. Did he tell the rest of his family, you guys put in the work?
I think he did.
Put in the work.
It's impressive.
There definitely was something about banana bread last season, but I'm having a hard time finding out exactly what it is. But like something about
and this is what we lose by Sheila not watching.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, Sheila.
I know.
Taking a few plays off there. Yeah.
Sheila's screaming at her podcast machine right now. My hope is, listen, I'm just gonna reiterate: Kiss next week, wedding the following.
Ain't happening.
Let's knock this out. Let's have a good time. I think we can do this if we all just agree that we should.
You didn't hear what I said there in the wait what at all. You didn't hear it. They're not going to do that.
I heard what you said, and I agree. I agree that is what's happening. But my thought is, if I put it out into the universe, maybe it'll happen. Maybe maybe the good Lord will shine His face upon us, and will let this happen.
But do you want that, knowing that there's a season 12? Like,
yes!
I thought we were thinking that. Okay, so you want that? I thought you were thinking that would be a great way to wrap up the entire series.
I know the hell that was the wedding planning episodes for Lucas and Elizabeth's wedding.
Right.
I don't want that again, which is what we're getting.
Right.
We're getting.
I hope we get the exact same thing where it's like she touches Lucas's hand and she thinks it's Nathan's.
Rosemary designed Elizabeth a dress for her wedding to Lucas. You guys remember that? From last season? This show sucks.
You got any hopes, valleys? Nothing?
My valley is that Nathan is not the shooter. That's all I got.
Google's AI nonsense is so stupid.
All right.
Where you Google something and it does like an AI overview of what you thinks that you want. It's so dumb. Win calls the heart, banana bread. Here's a recipe for banana bread.
Yeah, I think that's what would have...
With a heart shape. Come on, get out of here.
Hey, it's time for What's Calling My Heart. Email us, hello@deckthehallmark.com if you'd like to tell us what's calling your heart. Today's email is from Langley Clements. What's calling my heart is Parlor Donuts. Man, I'm too hungry for this email. I went for the first time this morning, and these flaky, doughy treats exceeded expectations. I got the plain Jane rolled in sugar, the sandy beach, and the raspberry filled, and they were all insanely good. I can't wait to go back again and try different flavors next time. Thank you for all the Christmas and When Calls the Heart fun. Langley, Parlor Donuts is a modern marvel, and
a modern marvel.
Jax, when you're in town, you got to go to Parlor Donuts with us. They're fantastic.
Oh, I absolutely will.
And I'm starving now, so thank you, Langley.
We did, everybody. We'll be back next week. Only 2 more episodes left, so big to-dos around here. Jax, great to see your face. Everybody else, I'm sure your face is great too. We'll be back next week with another. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. What? For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.